All right, well, it is a beautiful Thursday, and we are at the Goodwill. We are about to head in and see what we can find that we can flip for a profit. It's a little bit later in the day. I don't usually come to this Goodwill on Thursday, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm hoping that we will find good things. So here we go. Let's see what we can find. Okay, so I always kick this Goodwill off in the baskets. This particular trip, I stop in the baskets and I check out this piece. I'm thinking for my own purposes, sitting on the couch. This is where the remotes live and not getting lost in the couch cushions. But obviously, I keep on moving into the blue section. And in the blue section, I find this little Amish doll. She's trapped in a bag. But I find her friend on the shelf up above. Up here. And I try to put him here on the edge of the shelf. And I'm a little afraid he's going to fall off. So I put them together there on the shelf to live happily ever after with their facelessness. And as you can see, they are currently restocking, which is always exciting. We might find some treasures today. Cute little bunny here on the shelf. Over here, I find this piece of EAPG, which is Early American Pressed Glass or Early American Pattern Glass, depends on who you ask. It is a scene of the Last Supper. It is a plate, but I'm checking the edges here to see if there are any flea bites. That's kind of an industry word for very, very tiny chips along the edge that are almost invisible to the eye, but are detectable by touch. And I decide that, you know what, this is acceptable. I will take it with me. I really liked this mug, but I currently don't even have the room in my cabinets for any more mugs. My mug collection is overflowing, so I leave the fox mug behind. Now this is one of my favorite aisles. I find a lot of really neat wooden pieces here, but I'm not really seeing a whole lot. It's a lot of frames and albums. I do see a duck here on the shelf, and I go to grab this and it jumps out at me and tries to attack me. It's a little frightening. So I set him up on the shelf so he's not jumping off. They have a bag here of, it's a Richard Scarry barn set. And I recognize it right away because I've actually sold this before. The issue with this is there's no way to know if it has all the pieces. And there are a lot of pieces that go with this Richard Scarry barn set. And so I debate about whether or not to get it, but even complete, it doesn't sell for a whole lot of money. And the chances of it being incomplete are very high. So I decided to leave that behind and just keep on moving. Here we've got a nice framed picture of fish. This is fantastic. The quality was amazing, and sure enough, it is Lenox, but it's Lenox Halloween, and I love Halloween, as you know. I couldn't pass it up. I checked all the little toes and paws, and everything was intact, and so it goes into the cart. Here's a little ashtray. I checked it to see if there was any advertisements on it, but it was just plain. Got some artwork here. There is a crafty looking Santa. Not really my thing, but it was pretty cool. Up here, I found this really cool little biscuit jar. It was delightful for 99 cents, and I was so bummed that I could not find the lid, but here I am thinking, you know, this could totally be repurposed. This could be made into a little planter. You could stick some succulents in there, because my succulents from the flea market that I bought like months ago are still alive, and I could totally see them living in that little biscuit jar without the lid. This little plate here had strawberries on it. There was no markings on the back. And I'm trying not to buy single plates unless they are exceptional. This piece was interesting. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. It was just marked GR99. I didn't know if it was supposed to be a scroll of some sort. Got a couple huge jars here on the shelves. I don't even want to begin to imagine shipping those or asking Walter to ship those, because he'd probably be like, wait, what? Checking the bottom of this plate here, but again, I'm trying to steer clear of buying single plates unless they are something special. How do I determine if there's something special? Well, I don't know until I see it. This was interesting because it had flowers, but then it also had bananas on it. But unfortunately, some of the petals had broken off the flowers, and so that stayed behind. This little picture was really nice, but what I didn't like about it was the weight. It had a sticker on the bottom. The sticker was inconsequential. The weight was just off. It was very lightweight. This planter right here had modern stickers on the bottom, and there was a chip on it as well. Up here, this cute little elephant was a hobbyist piece, and so I passed on that. We've got a ton of purses here. I do a quick scan through the purses this time. I don't really spend a whole lot of time looking at the purses. Here I find another biscuit jar. This one's a little bit larger. It's marked Japan. It's kind of got some Amari feels. It's kind of mostly red. It's very red. I like it, and again, I'm envisioning it just as a planter and not as a biscuit jar, because obviously the lid is missing. So there's something to be said about this Goodwill and its missing lids. I don't know what's happening. The lids are missing. That doesn't mean it can't be repurposed. I think they would make adorable planters. And for the price I'm getting them at, I mean, it just makes sense. Down here is a nice lemon bowl. I'm checking the bottom there, trying to see what the mark says. It's kind of hard to read under that Goodwill sticker. I spend way too much time trying to figure out what it's saying, because then I turn it over and realize, look, there's a massive chip on it. Why did I just waste all my time trying to see the mark? I don't know. This piece back here, I liked the contrast of the purple and the green, but the mark on the bottom was just too modern for me. You guys know I usually stick to vintage. Usually. But that mark wasn't one that really appealed to me, so I left it behind. Don't worry, I come back for it. This right here, little ashtrays marked Japan. I know you saw it. Here are some more coasters. They are not marked. But a whole set of green stuff. Very large set. The bowls were not marked. That's not really something I want to mess with. I don't usually mess with whole sets of china. This fish was pretty cute, but not cute enough. So was this seagull. In here, I found some Pyrex. I'm not sure if this is the Crazy Daisy pattern. I'm really not that familiar with the yellows. The yellows. It's yellow. But I decided to pass on those. You guys know it's Pyrex. I liked this. I don't know why. It's clear glass, but it had really good weight to it, and there was something about the lines. I'm checking the bottom because there is scratching on the bottom, and the scratching looks almost like it could be an etched signature, but I just cannot convince myself of it being a signature. I'm trying very hard. I'm thinking this is probably scratching, but I do like the shape of it. and it's got a good weight. So I'm assuming it's more than likely crystal because of the weight of the piece as opposed to its size. Here we've got 2 mugs. I was just checking if they were the Spode design. Clearly they are not. The Santa is not on top of the tree. A lot of my viewers who collect Spode have told me repeatedly to look for the Santa on top of the tree, and I do listen. I do read your comments. I see that, and I am actively seeking out Santa on top of the tree. I had spotted this beautiful piece up here. It was marked Homer Laughlin. However, it more than likely had a lid that it was missing. We've got a piece of Fostoria coin glass here, it appears. It is just the clear. Clear is not as desirable as the green or the red or the other colors. So I leave the clear coin glass behind and move on into the clear glass section. Here are some shoes. They are marked made in China. I left them there. We've got a little hen on her nest. However, her beak is missing. So she lives on the shelf now. This piece right here was marked crystal, but it wasn't from any crystal maker that I recognized, and so I left it behind. Up here, I found a pottery bowl. I liked that this pottery bowl had fishes on it. I know that's not the plural of fish. It's just fish. But I really liked this bowl. It was marked in the bottom just AA, but I liked the fish. The fish were great. I decided I needed a fish bowl. We had some juice cups here. They were marked Japan, I do believe, or maybe they just had numbers on the bottom. Unfortunately, there were chips around the edge, and so I didn't want to take them with me. This mug I picked up because there's actually a matching mug out in the shelves, but it was very far away, and I didn't feel like walking it all the way out into the middle of the shelves. Normally I put like items together, but it was not, it was too far away. My laziness kind of took over. I checked out this piece. It is Mikasa. I was checking it out because I know that Wedgwood made shell plates, and I thought maybe this could be Wedgwood. It's unlikely. It turned out to not be the case. One of these days, I'm going to find the most amazing thing in the clear glass section. Like this vase that looks like a log or a tree trunk. It's really not that great, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was neat. And for $1.99, I decided to take the tree trunk vase with me. Now this was neat. This looked like the recycled glass. I'm assuming it's definitely not fire and light. But I liked the bubbles in it. I thought it was neat. Wasn't neat enough though. Here we've got a mug. This is more than likely made in Italy. However, it was not marked on the bottom. Usually when I find these, they have cracks. I don't know why. They crack very easily. And that being the case, I decided to leave that one on the shelf. Here we have a ceramic shell. I only touched it. That was all. And now I have moved into the Christmas land. I'm not sure I'm really ready for Christmas, and that's probably why I'm moving so quickly, because I'm like, no, Halloween comes first. Halloween comes before Christmas. But spoiler alert, Christmas comes through for us today. Not yet. Not with this. That was modern. That's adorable little flamingo ornament. And then we have a piece of green depression glass with a pattern that I did not recognize. This duck was weird. He had no neck. It was a necklace duck. Oh look, it's another little Pyrex bowl. This one is 99 cents. I believe it is part of the mixing set, and I'm checking it over to see if it's been run through the dishwasher. It is just vibrant and beautiful. It has not been run through the dishwasher, but I'm thinking that the smaller mixing bowl is probably only worth $10 to $12. And once I factor in the fact that it's $1 and I'm paying my listers $3 to list it, and I'm paying Walter between $2 to $3 to ship it, depending on the shipping day, I'm really not coming out ahead. And so I decided to leave it behind. I have a lot of overhead. I have to factor these things in. Here is a beautiful umbrella stand, or a giant vase. I'm not sure which. I guess it could be either. But it was $10. And it was quite nice. I probably can't ship it. But I liked it. And I debated putting it straight in my cart, but obviously that was not an option. Here is a nice green plate. It is marked Made in Italy on the back. It was 50 cents on the back, 99 cents on the front. And then I spotted the Christmas tray. Season's Greetings. I missed it the first time. I saw it the second time. I'm so glad it was still there, because if I was editing this video and spotted it and then it was gone, I would have been very upset. But I did find this awesome Season's Greetings tray. Totally vintage and very cool. I love the sparkles. Obviously, it comes with this. Cute little resin bunnies. And we reach through for these teacups that are marked Japan. So they stay. Now here I've got a little nappy dish, possibly a bowl. It's got butterflies on it. It reminds me of a Heisey dish that I just recently had my hands on that actually was marked Heisey. And so, reflecting on that and the little Heisey dish, I decide that I take a chance on this bowl that is not marked Heisey, thinking, it's very similar. So I decide to move off into the linens. I kind of got a kick out of this because I actually had that bedding set at one point in my life. And then there was a blouse with the pillow shams. I don't know what's happening. I thought, oh, well, maybe somebody was stashing it here, but I didn't see any tags on it. So at this particular Goodwill, I made one of my best textile scores ever. Granted, I didn't actually flip it. I ended up keeping it for myself because it was that amazing. But that video was some time ago, and it was with Juliet. I'll try to link it in the description, but that was one of my best textile scores. Now, I did spot this. I believe this is a baby blanket. It's super, super soft, and it's kind of quilted. It could be made in China. Or not. I don't know. But my thought process was, this is really cute. It's got sheeps on it. Sheep. It has sheep on it. And I like it. It's quite nice. I'm trying to find the stitching. I'm trying to get a closer look at the stitching. It's not happening. It's definitely machine made. Definitely machine made. But I do like it. Now here I noticed another quilt. A nice floral, probably 1970s quilt. I really like that fabric a lot. I mean, it's not like a dinner plate quilt, but it's a nice quilt. And I debated, but I decide to ultimately put it in my cart until I get to the checkout. And I realized that this strange smell that has been following me around was actually that quilt. It's really hard to like locate smells when you're wearing a mask. I mean, that's my defense on that. I just noticed this strange smell was following me around, and the source was that quilt right there. Then I spotted this. Wait, no, that was nothing. This. I spotted this. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to get Juliet to wear this? That would be fun. I wonder if she would wear this. I guess the only way to find out would be to buy it. Let's grab it. And then we spot this awesome poinsettia tablecloth, which I love a lot. But not just that, this is fantastic. This is actually embroidered or stitched, but it has Santa on it, and it's got reindeer and stars, and it is just very elaborate and very cool. Don't see much else there. So this is pretty cool. It's an ashtray. Clearly it was down on the bottom shelf, and I thought it was interesting. I buy interesting ashtrays from time to time. This, I noticed the sticker. It says it is recycled glass, but it is not fire and light. Look, not fire and light. It stays. All right, so I literally almost drove off without filming my outro. Our total spend there was $61. $61. But I feel like the blankets really came through there at the end. Well, the Christmas stuff. The Christmas stuff came through there at the end, because I also got that really neat vintage season's greetings tray, I think is what it said. But yeah, the Christmas stuff, the vintage Christmas stuff, that really neat embroidered, I guess it was a tablecloth, and the poinsettia tablecloth. Now, I will tell you this, I noticed this strange smell was following me around. And it happened to be one of the blankets. It was the big quilt with the flowers on it. And so at the checkout, I asked her if I could take off my mask and smell things. And I got to the source of the smell, and it was the blanket, and it was bad. And so I decided to leave it behind because it was a musty smell, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to get rid of it. And so I left that behind. But I think we did all right. It was a slow start, but things picked up there at the end with the Christmas stuff. I am heading to the shop now. I've got to get ready for my live tonight. I've got to pack boxes for the girls. And yeah, so I guess I will see all of you guys tomorrow for more Goodwill. That's the plan. Anyway, I don't know if that will come to fruition or not, but that is the plan. So I'll see you guys tomorrow later. My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook.